with Mother Earth. So connected. You know, we are our visitors on this planet. That's all. Take care of her while we're here. Give thanks to her.
All right, and that was the Mother Connection by Stratosphere, also known as Jacob Paskus. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me. I feel blessed to have this opportunity again with you all.
Yeah, definitely. So for anybody who doesn't know, we actually had a podcast with Jacob, and it was in season 2, episode number 58, and he shared some pretty amazing experiences that he had at a festival. So you can all check that out on YouTube, iTunes. It's all over. So that song, "The Mother Connection," could you give us a little bit of a background on it?
Absolutely. I wrote that one. Started writing it almost about a year ago, and it was during a time where I was kind of going through a lot of turbulent things in my life, and the area that I lived in had a great open space with just fabulous trees everywhere, just a really nice, expansive forest to walk through. So every single day, I would go out there, and it was as if I was going there to try to hand the pain and the things that I was going through to the earth, but we started exchanging instead of me just giving it to the earth to transmute. She was also sharing with me the pain that she was feeling, and it kind of created this. After about 3 weeks, this just became much more apparent to me, the communication, and it kind of created like this circle of emotions that, I would put mine into the earth would take them, give them back to me, and then allow me to feel kind of what it was feeling. And so it just really helped me understand not only how healing nature can be, but also the connection that we have to it. So I guess that's where the name came from. And I did a lot of the writing for that track out in those woods, like the drumming and everything. I recorded that out there. So it was just
So
kind of my way of.
You had like a real drum that you were drumming?
Yeah, I had a little one at the time. And there was a tree that had fallen over, and I'd go sit by it every day. It seemed to have a nice reflection off of it, and just felt like a good way to show my appreciation for what it had offered me in that time in my life.
Mm-hmm. And would you say that nature is a big influence for you in your music?
Absolutely. Very much so.
Yeah, I know that I feel like you treat a lot of things very sacredly, and it kind of it shows up in your music. So when you get to hear music from somebody like you, and it's the mother connection, and I think everybody can feel the energy that you put into it.
I appreciate that, and yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the outdoor shows. It gives me a chance to put my intentions into the ground, and my shows have become not just for the co-creative beings that want to come together and share that time and space, but it's also become apparent to me that these are offerings for the land as well. So yeah, I would definitely nature is at the very top of the list, top 3 for inspiration.
Cool. And has it always been like that for you? Starting as a musician, or?
Not starting. I played guitar for a long time, and I didn't really ever consider those kind of energies or vibrations. But since I started doing the electronic music, the first song that I kind of finished or completed was Galaxy Transmission, and that was basically a transmission from me to the universe. So I think it started once I started making electronic music, honestly. And it's just been growing since. I didn't really understand it at first, but it's really grown into that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And what inspired you to start creating electronic music?
Well, the straightforward answer, when I played guitar for quite some time, and I'm actually I picked it up again. I put it down so I could learn keyboards and production, mixing and mastering and all that, because I tried to do all of that myself. And but when I played guitar, I could play by ear very well. I could basically sit in with any kind of music and play along with it. And what this created was an improvisational style. And this improvisational style did not really work with certain avenues that were presenting themselves to me as far as bands or groups to play with. And I just got to a point where I was like, well, how can I avoid? I also had some blockages that were created through that. I felt like I would take these people somewhere they did not want to go. And there's, in the moment, there's no way to know, like, are they okay with this kind of a thing? And like, and so it started stifling my approach, and it just kind of started affecting me in a negative way. And so I just kind of asked myself, well, how can I continue to make music and not have the issue of, being afraid that I'm going to take other musicians somewhere they don't want to go musically. And it was, well, if I make all of the sounds myself, then that would be possible. And that's not to say that I don't appreciate and really enjoy when multiple people come together and create music together, that could definitely be in my future. I'm open to it. But for the time being, at that time, I guess it was about 3 years ago when I started doing the electronic music. It was just a way for me to be able to create and not have to worry about taking it somewhere someone else didn't have in mind or didn't want to go.
Mm-hmm. For sure, I understand that, and we have
The
a
short
few more.
long answer.
What's that?
It was the short long answer.
That's why we're here. I think everybody who's tuned in is interested in hearing about this stuff. So,
Cool.
what is the next song that we have to play for everybody?
Let's see. I don't remember what I sent you on.
I think it starts with searching.
Oh yes. So the next one is Searching Through the Cosmic Gardens, and I could either give a little backstory to that before or after. It's up to you.
Let's do before.
All right. So this is a newer. The last one is available to listen to online. This one is still kind of being worked on, but I think it's far enough along to, just to maybe get it out there a little bit. I had not necessarily a full, like a full vision or anything, but a few times when I would start thinking about a certain aspect of my life, relationships and love and things like that, I would see this, I guess, like a blue flame, and also a purple fire or flame, and they would be in the cosmic, what I considered cosmic gardens. That's what it looked like. A little bit different than just a normal universe that had a lot of planets, a lot of bigger stars, moons, and things. And these were kind of dancing together, but then they would get separated and kind of like look for each other almost. And so in the actual song, there's like a call and response thing going on. And it is kind of it's an emotional song. I mean, because love is, it's an emotional thing. There's a lot of highs and lows with it. And when you're searching, for something, there's sometimes it's not always an easy path getting there, but once you get there, you'll understand why you went through the things you went through to get to that point. So it's just kind of a take on what I used to see. I tried to put sound to what I used to see when I would get in these moments of kind of thinking about relationships or love in my life.
Mm. And that was Searching Through the Cosmic Gardens by Stratosphere. And we have him here live on air right now. Hello.
Hello.
It's good to have you. And I wanted to say happy birthday to you because it's your birthday.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so we're recording this on Stratosphere's birthday, Jacob Pascus, and I didn't even realize that until Shannon told me this morning.
Yeah, sometimes I have to be reminded of it as well.
Well, so in that song, it sounded like I heard a violin. Is that what I was hearing?
Yeah, there's some stringed instruments in there. I wish I had someone to record, doing that live, but basically I just I play that on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds really wonderful, and
Thanks.
Yeah, I've listened to a good amount of your music, and we play it quite often on the radio show, and it's nice being able to kind of hear the progression of each musician and producer's music, how it like continually progresses and evolves, and just I think your music is so wonderful, and I'm in love with it.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's been interesting recently. Kind of been not a standstill. Like a lot of the songs I gave you for this show, they've just been things I've been working on here and there. But I do feel almost like time to reevaluate before I approach it again. So things are still kind of all over the place like they have been. I don't really stick to one sound or feel. So I got a bunch of different things started.
Cool. One thing I'm curious about is how you got the name Stratosphere.
Well, I started as Supermental Perception, and that seemed to be difficult both in print and with people. So, I was actually thinking very heavily about changing my name. And I had a friend of mine reach out to me. She goes by Wise Crow, and she, I guess, felt that it was time for me to have a new name. And she spent a few days, I guess you could say, in like spiritual counsel or something. I wasn't around her. I've never met her, but this was kind of a distance thing. And she got back to me a little bit later, told me that she kept hearing Blu-ray, and which was interesting because I was I was resonating a lot with the Blu-ray vibes at the time. And so basically the Stratosphere in the galactic sense is the beacon of the Blu-ray. And I was told that if I kept my heart and intentions pure and carried this name, that it would kind of go where it needs to go. And so I felt pretty good about it, and it's stuck ever since.
Yeah, I noticed when you sent me some of your emails and whatnot, and included the Blu-ray, and could you explain a little bit about what the Blu-ray is all about?
Well, I honestly wish I could say I understood fully what it was about, but these are all just kind of guesses or attempts to understand something that I've been feeling about myself in my own life. To say that they're correct or how it is, I feel like would be great error on my part. But for conversation's sake, there's a lot of I feel like the Earth is being visited and or seeded with a lot of different galactic energies that are carried by the beings that inhabit this planet. And I could go way off on a I mean I could I'm trying to figure out a way to make this short. Basically,
is there like some kind of like, I know the violet flame kind of neutralizes harsh situations. It calms people down. Is there something like that the Blu-ray does? Like, is there like a certain aspect of life that it changes? Or
I feel like the responsibility of the Blu-ray beings are to magnify the love frequency on this planet through whatever means possible. And I try to do that in my life day to day, as well as with the music. And I think that it all kind of came about at a time in my life where I was trying to figure out who I was, why I was here, where I came from, and what I was supposed to do. And I presented these questions to the universe quite often, and the information that I would get back kind of led me to looking into the Blu-ray. And it's like a frequency or a vibration or a being that is here to magnify the heart and love frequencies, I assume. Again, like I don't know any of this for sure, for certain. it's just kind of been there and evolving ever since.
Right. Well, with all the synchronicities and things like that, it would probably seem hard not to like get into it and not to believe that stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there were heavy synchronicities and kind of just knowledge that was unknown to me, and then all of a sudden, here I am thinking about it, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to look into this, and but again, like I really try not to define anything, because I mean, I tell this to a lot of people, and I'll say it again, like the only thing I know for certain is that I know nothing for certain. So, like,
kind of sounds like
all
Eckhart Tolle.
speculation. Yeah, I think it is.
Cool. So, do you think the Blu-ray maybe is like a symbol of beings or specks of light from a blue star, from some kind of blue star off in
Definitely
the
possible.
universe?
Definitely possible. There's there's the indigo children, the star seeds, the Blu-rays. There's a whole gambit of possibilities, and that was the one that just really resonated with me in a way that none of the others did. And I just kind of made the decision whether or not it was so. That seemed to be a pretty good intention to set for my own life. To spread the energy that I'm trying to spread through the music and through my daily interactions. Whether or not those things are true, can't go wrong with doing that. So,
Right. Do you want to tell us about the next song we're going to play?
Sure. It kind of wraps into what we were just talking about. There was a time in my life a few years ago where I just got serious with my life and started asking the universe a lot of questions. And the first energies that came through were what we were kind of just talking about, this like galactic starseed type thing. And I started realizing like, well, I could get lost in this just as much as I am without it. So I kind of took a little bit of information from that and was like, okay, what else is there? Or, what other kind of aspects am I here to understand or learn or integrate? And the second energy that came through very, very clearly, very loudly, very peacefully was the Native American energy. And so Grandfather was written as kind of the same as Mother Connection. I go out into the woods, and it gave me so much that I wanted to give something back. Well, there were both grandfather and grandmother energies coming into my life very strongly in very strange ways before I wrote this song. So this was kind of just like a thank you for helping me under it. The grandfather energies really helped me understand the spiritual world a lot more. And so the words that I chose to put in that song kind of reflect that. And also, maybe sometime soon, the grandmother song will be written, because I feel like I got just as much from the grandmother energies as I did the grandfather energies. So it's basically just a thank you to those energies for coming into my life and helping me the ways that they did.
Everything is spiritual. Everything has a spirit. Everything was brought to you by the Creator, the one Creator. Some people call him God, some people call him Buddha, some people call him Allah, some people call him other names. We call him Tonkashila, grandfather. We're here on Earth only a few winters. Then we go to the spirit world. The spirit world is more real than most of us believe. Everything. You should treat all things as spirit. Realize that we are one family. We are one family.
And that song was Grandfather by Stratosphere. And thank you for being here on air with us today. So I know that you just recently moved to Colorado, and that's a really wonderful state. And I don't know if you know this, but when we first started Project Bring Me to Life, the first thing we did was we went on a road trip to Colorado, and I ended up in Boulder and then Nederland, and then went to the top of Eldora Mountain, and that's kind of where our inspiration came from with this project, with the Bring Me to Life network and all that stuff. So
interesting.
I think it's great that you're out there in Colorado, and from what I hear, it's starting to snow out there.
Yeah, this just started snowing about 15 minutes ago. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what do you think
it's like
about
80 degrees yesterday and snow today?
I have when I went, it was in summertime, and there was snow at the top of the mountain, but at the bottom it was it was pretty warm. So, I guess I don't know. Do you know if like the weather changes like that all the time there?
From what I understand, I guess I've only been here for about 3 months, but from what I understand, the winters here, they do get cold and you will get snow, but it's not like a constant bitter cold, constant snow. Mm-hmm. It's like it'll snow and then it'll be a nice day, 50 degrees or so, kind of melt everything. Like I'm on the Front Range. I was in the mountains for a little bit, but I just recently moved to the Front Range in the beginning of October. So it's a little bit different here than it is. I can see where it's much worse just standing outside up in the mountains. So
cool. Well, I know that you recently had some trouble with some of your equipment, and somebody started a fundraiser for you?
Yes. I have a great friend and supporter, Nis Elbin, and she was at the festival that I played. It was Unify Fest in New Mexico a little while back, and I was told I could load my things into the back of a truck and they would take it to my campsite, and I was really happy about that. And I had my computer in my book bag, and my controller I just kind of put in the back of the truck on top of some things, and as it looked like it was a beautiful day at the time, just didn't really think about it. I was pretty tired. I had spent about a week on the road doing shows with Infinite Brothers, and then that was kind of the end of a long road trip, and so just wasn't really thinking. The truck goes away. I take my time to go to the campsite. We get to the campsite, and it starts pouring rain. Just like I haven't seen rain like that in a while. Came up really fast, like the sun, looked like a nice day. And then this came up about 15 minutes later. By the time the truck got to where we were, my book bag was soaked, and so my computer wasn't working. I missed my set that morning that I was supposed to play because I just didn't check it beforehand, and lots of lessons learned that weekend. And I had some great assistance from some really magical beings. Got a computer and was able to do one of the sets that I was supposed to do. And but basically, I'm not really good at asking for help, and I'm learning that it's okay. But I really didn't feel the need to, I felt the need to, but I just didn't feel comfortable with setting up any kind of campaign or something. So my friend did it out of the kindness of her heart, and she's got a GoFundMe page going. If you just search Stratosphere on GoFundMe, you can find it. We started
it's actually GoFundMe.com/Stratosphere.
Yes.
So super easy.
Super easy. And we actually added some incentives to it instead of just donations. Certain price points will get you certain things. And I'm very grateful to everyone who has donated so far. It's really helped me be able to get in a position to where I can continue doing shows, and it is so much appreciated what everybody's been doing.
Mm-hmm. For sure. It's great when the community can come together and help support somebody, and especially like, a Blu-ray who's spreading love to the world and stuff like that. We need more of that. So everybody who's listening, GoFundMe.com/Stratosphere to help them out. So what is the next song that we are going to play?
The next song is special to me because it originally wasn't my song. It is a remix that I did for Beat Farmer. His music, I just want to take a quick minute to express my gratitude to Adam Wood for his music. I've been listening to him for quite some time, and I take a lot of walks out in nature. That kind of is a solid foundation for me to build upon. And there's been so many times I've just been moved to tears. I'm about to do so right now just by thinking about how much his music means to me. I mean, it's super healing. He's really helped me pull myself out of some pretty negative headspaces. I've got a lot of love for Adam Wood and his music. So we were talking one day, and I was kind of telling him some of the songs that have really affected me in a positive way. And Until Next Morning was one of the tracks from his album From Cave to Sky, which is a fantastic album. He has so much other good music that it's hard for me to, if you just look into Beat Farmer, you'll be happy you did. And so this was, I haven't done very many remixes. The ones that I have done, I've completely alienated the original song. I'll take like a few sounds from it and then build something completely different. With this one, it is a lot different, but I wanted to try to completely change the song, but keep the same kind of vibes because they were very important to me in the original song. So this is a remix of Beat Farmer's song Until Next Morning.
And that was a remix, Until Next Morning, by Stratosphere. And it's been a real pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for being here.
I've enjoyed it very much, and I really appreciate everything Project Bring Me to Life is doing for not just the music community, but also the spiritual community, and a lot of other art communities. You guys are doing a really good job over there, and I feel very blessed to resonate with you and have an opportunity to talk about music today.
Thank you. I appreciate that. One thing I would like to get before you go is if you could say you're listening to, if you could say this is Jacob Paskus of Stratosphere and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio.
This is Jacob Paskus of Stratosphere and you're listening to Bring Me to Life Radio.
Cool, thank you. So what are some upcoming events that you are going to be playing at?
This weekend, I'm gonna get away from the snow and go down to Orlando. I think I play on Sunday at a festival called Zen Awakening. I played there last year and it was a really good time. I'm excited that they wanted me back this year. Mm-hmm. Lots of friends and family down there for that one.
Yeah, I know Spatial Birth is going to be playing there, isn't he?
Yep. Really looking forward to seeing him. Sentient's going to be there. Nice. So it's always good seeing those guys. Yeah. And I've been kind of just with This year's been really interesting as far as changing the direction of my life many times over. So I was kind of hesitant to um, try to book shows when I didn't even know where I was going to be. And plus, just where I was at, I wasn't very balanced. And so I didn't want that to kind of bleed into what I was doing. And so I kind of stepped away from really pushing to get shows. So this show this weekend wraps up what I had for this stretch of the year. There are some possibilities for some shows around here later this year, but there's nothing definite. I do have a festival in Panama in February called Tribal Gathering, and I'm still in shock about that, honestly. But at the same time, I found out about this festival 2 years ago when I was reading about their mission statement and what their intentions. I got emotional very quickly. I was like, wow, like that's kind of what I'm making this music for, is like gatherings like that. And I saw myself there. I saw it happening, and I was like, oh, that's just crazy, and I certainly didn't think it would be so soon. But I feel extremely blessed to have an opportunity to go down there. It's a 2-week festival. The first week is indigenous learning workshops, lectures, things like that. And the second week is music. I'm going to see some artists that I've never seen before that I've enjoyed for quite some time. Really still taken back by that one. Be interesting to see what that has in store for not only Stratosphere, but some other things that are kind of being worked on in my life.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Very cool. So where can people find you at? Some shameless plugs.
Well, I my online presence is probably not what it should be. But you can find me on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Stratosphere Music. Same with Facebook, facebook.com/Stratosphere Music. I have a Bandcamp page. I'm pretty sure it's the same, bandcamp.com/Stratosphere Music. If it's not the same, I apologize. Just search Stratosphere.
We'll put out the links in the description too, so people make sure they go to the right one.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's it. There might be some stuff floating around YouTube or not, but I don't get on there, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that's all I got.
Very cool. So before we play the last song, I wanted to know, are there any plans for Infinite Brothers to create another EP or album?
Absolutely. That's kind of one of the next things on my to-do list. We've got some songs floating back and forth that are really, we were all pretty happy and proud of our first release, but I feel like this one is going to be a little more dialed in, a little more focused, a little more, I'm just super excited about what we're working on. And with losing my computer and things like that, like it's been kind of a slow process, rebuilding, like getting a controller, whatever. It's taken a little bit of time, but we definitely have plans to continue creating music together. And we had our first show at Imagine Music and Arts Festival right before Unify in Washington, and we had a great time doing it. It seemed to be received very well. So we're hoping to get some more shows in the future, as well as definitely putting out some of this music we've been working on. It's some powerful stuff. Those guys are great at what they do.
Yeah, for sure. And we really enjoy playing the Infinite Brothers on the radio show. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So it's been a great show. Could you introduce the last song that everybody's going to hear?
Sure. And again, I would really just like to take a moment and thank you all for this opportunity, and thank the community out there for the support. Strongly felt, and it keeps me going when I feel like I shouldn't. Very, very grateful for everything that's kind of happened since I started deciding uh, to do this kind of thing. And so thank you all for helping me feel like I should continue. That's a pretty powerful thing to do. And so this last song is kind of like the others. I wouldn't say it's technically finished yet, but this was inspired when I first moved out here to Colorado. I had some ideas of why, and but again, these were just ideas, and things. I had some interesting things happen on the drive out here. Once I got to where I was staying in Norwood, it was a pretty secluded area. It really gave me the opportunity to integrate all of the things I had just come through, and also find, okay, like, what do I do from here? And so, just like most other places I've lived, I spent a lot of time outside, and there were a couple nights where, and I'm just going to be honest about it. There were a couple nights where I had really difficult time with a lot of feelings I was feeling, a lot of thoughts I was having, and I would not hold back from, you know, communicating these things with the universe. So I would go out. Super. I mean, the light pollution there was almost non-existent. So I would go outside every night just to look at the sky. I've never seen the sky like that, and I was going through some sitting with some difficult things at the time, and I had put out a few requests, and there was a couple nights where I went out there where and I guess this is where the title came from, when space speaks. Um, Space would speak to me, and I would see things. Um, these were not plant induced things. These were just, I think, just having a very strong intention and a very strong desire to communicate with these kind of things. They started communicating, and there was one night where I just kind of saw this scene forming in the clouds, and it carried a lot of ancestral vibes, a lot of Native American energy, and it really, really drove home how important it is for me to not forget my connection to the earth. Because, it's like a lot of us, I feel, we look up to the stars and we're like, all right, like, let's go to the next, like, things on this planet are getting a little interesting, and some of us want to get on the spaceship and get out of here, but it's like we're here for a reason, and we're all here for a very important reason. And so this was kind of a song that I was writing at that time, where at night the sky would show me things and remind me of my connection to this earth. So that's all I got on that one, I think.
Yeah.